going on, King Folk? Right back at it. Another day, another dollar. Episode 5. No, this is episode 6. I be losing track, man. I appreciate y'all still tuning in, supporting your boy. Uh, Everybody that's been sharing, still spreading by word of mouth, talking about the podcast. You truly appreciate it. You ain't had to do it, but you did. Um, Special shout out to all the media platforms out here, man. That's in the city that's trying to build it up and create press in the city outside of your standard uh, news stations. I big up y'all. Let's continue to grind, continue to put on for the city. Thank you for my last guest in episode 5. We had the funny guy, Nardo Blacktastic. We had a good time on that one, man. And that interview was no different than this one as far as having quality guests and quality content. And this young lady I got with me today, she's one of the young bloods that's on the ground, really fighting for the community and doing everything she can to, create avenues for our voices to be heard, for us to make an impact. She's an activist, a visionary, and I'm proud of this young queen out here doing her thing. And we're gonna find out more about her and what she represents. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the city, Miss Calyn Stringfellow. What's going on, Queen?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm here, so I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't get shot by no cop, and one of my own ain't try to take my head off, so I'm good.
Yeah. A blessing.
How about yourself?
I'm blessed as well. Blessed and highly favored. I'm doing good.
That's what's up. This young lady reached out to me. It's been about a week ago now,
About a
uh,
week. Uh-huh.
to tell me about her event. I was thoroughly impressed, and I definitely want to help her spread the word. But I'm sure she's somebody that I would have come across anyway, and wanted to pick her brain. So, for me, myself, and my audience, tell us a little bit about where you're from, school you attended.
Well, I am a Jackson native, so born and raised in Jackson. Kind of northwest Jackson. But I did recently just graduate from Jackson State University, the Jackson State University. Don't forget the D. Before then, I attended schools in Jackson Public Schools, so I've been here all my life. I've been a part of the community all my life.
What was your major in school?
Entrepreneurship, business administration, entrepreneurship.
What made you want to
Yep.
pursue that?
Well, so I started off as a chemistry major. I thought that I wanted to be a nurse, and I learned very quickly that you have to be very dedicated to be a nurse. And I learned that this just wasn't something that I wanted to do. So I really had to tap into what I had a passion for, and that was business and seeing the business side of things. Also being able to be well spoken about the community and things like that. I knew that as long as I work for myself, I don't have to silence my voice about anything.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. You don't have to worry about being able to wear ELN apparel.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And as you can see, within the last few months, we've really seen how corporations and businesses really care or really do not care about us and what matters to us. So
Facts. That leads me to my question. Like, you're pretty young, just graduated college. What created this passion in you? That you're so dedicated to the community and you're dedicated to making change happen. Where'd you get that from?
My grandmother. We were really close. She just passed away in 2016. But prior to her passing and everything, she was very active in her community. She worked very closely with Councilman Kenny Stokes. She literally would bully people to the polls. But that's how. But in any way that she can get them there, that's what she did. I literally remember doing homework first, second grade in the back of a furniture store because that was then the voting poll at the time. So I literally, like, she was very outspoken. She was very courageous in her community. She worked very closely with the NAACP and things like that. She was more so in the background scene of Jackson, but she did what she needed to do for her community, and I saw that. I caught the back end growing up because she was
Mm-hmm.
a little older once I was growing up, but she still instilled that into me. So even after her passing, I still had passion about my community and how I want us to move forward.
Well, I'm sure she's very proud of you.
Yeah.
How would you personally describe yourself? I said activist. I said visionary. Would you use those same terms?
Yeah, I will say that I'm a newfound activist. I
Okay.
haven't been doing this a long time, but I am very passionate for it. I am a visionary. I do think that I do have so many visions, especially for Jackson as a city and Mississippi as a state, that I do
Mm-hmm.
want to bring to life. I'm just a natural born leader. I see a problem and I do my best to fix it. I use my resources. I do what I need to do to get the job done.
Mm-hmm. One thing I admire about y'all generation, like y'all are not taking no for an answer
No,
and just going
nope.
headstrong, diving right in. Whether it's the wrong way or the right way, I admire the passion that I'm seeing. Um, do you think it was just time that a generation caught on? We've been hearing the same story since I know from my great grandparents, from my grandparents, from my parent to me, to my
Mm.
child or your generation. You think it's just you're the generation of straight action, not necessarily planning, or well, you guys do organize and plan, but I guess every generation has this set of rebels. How do you feel like your generation stands out?
I think in the current moment for my generation, I think we're really literally in the mix of trying to figure it out.
Mm,
Because, like you said, we've been hearing the same stories from
mm,
generation to generation. And things have been carried on from generation to generation, but it in so many ways it hasn't been a major change, at least not the way that we quote unquote would like to see it. So I think
mm.
it's just with my generation, I don't know. It's two sides to my generation.
Yeah.
It's the side that really has passion and really wants to do the right thing, and then it's the side that makes the other side look bad. So,
Mm-hmm.
I would say that the side that I am on, I would say that we really do want to see a change, and we're not taking no for an answer because at this point, I'm not understanding why you're still telling me no.
Mm.
Like I'm not understanding why you're still denying me rights. I'm not understanding why you're still making it hard for me to vote. I'm not understanding why you're still killing my people for the same
Mm.
things that's been going on from generation to generation 400 years ago. It doesn't make sense to me.
Facts. Do you do you believe that voting is still the way to make change?
I think that voting is a way to make change. There are so many different ways to make change. I
Mm.
do think that it can start at the polls. I think it does. I think it's so very important that we do vote when we have the chance to, and not just for the president, but for city councilman, for mayor,
Speak on it.
um, for
Mm-hmm.
representatives in the state, because they're literally put in those positions to voice our opinions,
Mm-hmm.
because we can't all be president, we can't all be mayor, we can't all be councilman, we can't all be senator. That's
Mm-hmm.
why we vote people in to make sure that they get the job done for us. And so what happens is when we have so many people that don't go out and vote because they feel like their voices are not heard, you not only give up your right, but I don't understand why you're voicing your opinion on a situation, because you didn't try to do what it takes or
Mm-hmm.
what it will take to actually get some change. So I think that there are a lot of things that can change within the black community as far as how people treat us and how we treat each other. But I do
Mm-hmm.
think that as far as having laws change and having change that will be consistent throughout generations to come, I do think that voting does have a part in it.
Facts. And so was this past election your first time voting?
No, 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 no. I told you my grandma didn't play that. I've been voting since I was
How old
18.
are you?
I'm 24.
Okay. So your first presidential election,
My first presidential election was
Obama's last term.
Obama's second term.
Okay. How was that experience for you?
I felt it was important to me because thankfully he was already in office, so all I had to do was keep him there. That's how I felt about it. The hard part was done. So at this point, this the re-election. It's the easy part. It's no way. I felt like it was no way for him not to get that second term.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, answer this for me. How do you feel about the attitude, or our community adopting the attitude of choosing the lesser of two evils, especially as it concerns this election? People are not. Well, I'm speaking for our community. Most of them want Trump out of there. Most of them don't necessarily want Biden in there, but they'll settle for. Like, what's your whole opinion on that ideology, and you think it's positive or negative?
I think it's the truth because at this point, it is the lesser of two evils. That was the same thing with Trump and Hillary Clinton. It was the lesser of two evils.
Facts.
So unfortunately, with and I was literally just watching a video about this today. My hero, Angela Davis, she was just speaking about it.
I heard about it. Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's very unfortunate that in this country we only have two major parties. Of course, you can vote or you can run independent, but usually an independent candidate never makes it as far as to the ballot for presidential election. So unfortunately, it's only two major parties. Hopefully that's something that we can work on in the future. But at this point, that's just what it is. I mean, that's just what it is. It's the lesser of two evils, and we're just trying to figure out who's going to do what they can. Now, being completely honest, I feel that if it was a life or death situation, I feel like when it comes to the actual policies of a president and actually being a good president in regards to the residents of your country, I think that Biden would do a better job. I pray if he was to win, he does not prove me wrong. But that's just my opinion. I know people have a lot to say about Trump, but
you think he's a racist, or is he just about money?
I think it might be a little bit of both.
Right.
I mean, we're here to be honest, right? I think it might be a little bit of both. But he's
well, how do you feel about his
money.
supporters? He has a lot of black conservative supporters.
He does. I don't know. I feel like everyone has their right. Mm-hmm. So, go for what you know, or go for what you feel, go for what you believe. As long as you vote, I can't tell you how to vote. I just want you to vote. And if you vote that way, cool. That's your opinion. It's not all. It's about the majority vote. It's not about everybody's opinion necessarily, in a sense.
Well, hell, I thought we had majority vote last time.
Well, we thought. We thought.
You thought.
But I do really think though, when it comes down to it, he is about money. That's what he knows. He's about running a business, and like he told us when he ran for presidential candidate the first time, he told us straight up, I'm gonna run it like a business, because that's what he knows, and that's exactly what he did. And I do not agree with what he says. I don't agree with how he handles situations, but to be honest, we've never been president, so we never know when we're put in that position exactly how we will adapt or exactly how we will make decisions, because you never know, especially when the House and the Senate can't agree on nothing, and half of
that's where the power at. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
what are you doing to make sure that your community takes voting serious? Not only this time around, but in the future.
Well, starting with the rally.
Okay.
We're going to speak about. Okay, so there's a rally Sunday the 28th, this coming up Sunday at 3 o'clock. I know it's gonna be really hot, but we're gonna be out there. We're gonna have some tents, and we're gonna discuss the importance of voting. Mississippi Votes is gonna be on the scene. They're gonna be registering people on site. So I just don't want it to be an excuse. At this point, we have to, one, educate our people, and two, hold our people accountable. So now is the time. It's been too much going on in the last 6 months of this year specifically, and I just feel like it's no other choice at this point. It's no other choice, because what's going on in the country is affecting everyone in the country. So there's no reason to why you cannot vote. You cannot get out and vote. You cannot ask to have a mail-in ballot if you're scared to go to the vote. I mean, if you're scared to go to the polls with your mask on. Like, it's just no way around it. It's no excuse anymore. So in order to make sure that we do have consistent change, like I said before, we have to get out and vote. We have to. And it is important to not only just get out and vote, but know what you're voting for, who you're supporting, what do they support, how do they feel on issues in your community. And just knowing the difference between the two, because I won't lie, when I first started voting at 18, I knew I had to vote because that's just how I was raised. One. Two, I would go to the voting polls and I didn't know who was on the ballot. I didn't know who was running. I would text my mama right before, who am I voting for? Who you tell me at the house? And I think that should stop with us.
Facts. Are you associated with BLM in Mississippi?
I am not.
Okay.
I'm not.
I don't know who's over there. I'm gonna have to get in touch with them too. Key to the City podcast. We got the Queen Calyn Stringfellow here with us. It's been a lot going on in the country recently. Not starting with, but the one that was highlighted the earliest was Ahmaud Arbery being chased down and murdered. Then the country lost his mind behind George Floyd. And if that wasn't bad enough, they turned right back around. And I forget this brother name every time. Rashad. Forgive me, family.
Yes, I forgot his name too.
Yeah, but that gentleman, and seems like the country is on edge right now. Tensions are high.
And don't forget Breonna Taylor.
Facts. Rest in peace to that queen. You can't even sleep in your own bed these days. So all these murders, people on edge, and like I say, these are the same riots have been going on forever as well. So I don't know why people are talking like this is something new, or they're just shocked by behavior. But when people have had enough, things are going to explode. But I want to know, coming from you as a young Black female, and seeing a young Black female gunned down the way that she was, and seeing your Black male friends being gunned down the way that they are, where are you at mentally with it? How are you processing everything?
It's a lot. It's a lot. And of course, we grew up reading about stories and books and just, I grew up watching movies. My grandmother made sure that I knew my history. I still have a book and a cassette tape right now from Ruby Bridges. So to see those things still go on in 2020, it's very hurtful. It hurts. It hurts real bad to know that racism is still alive. And no lie, living in Mississippi, if you live in Mississippi, you already knew before these murders that racism was still alive and well.
Facts.
But it I don't know, for those 3 murders to happen in less than 1 month, and then to also look on the news like 2 weeks ago and see that a few people have been hung around the country.
Right.
It just takes those emotions to another level. Honestly, no lie, before I started planning this rally, I had to take a few days off of social media because it was overwhelming. I didn't know how to process it, and I was stuck between trying to educate people and letting them know what's going on and figuring out what to do, and then having to ask myself, okay, whoa, I need to take a step back because That could have been me. That could have been my brother. That could have been my cousin. You know, that could have been my family on CNN begging for the DA to arrest the police.
Right.
So it is, I can't put it into words, but that's what makes me so passionate about wanting to do something in my own community, because, you know, even though those murders did not happen in my community, it could have been my community. And I have to start with my community. I cannot go to someone else's community that I'm not aware of, that I'm not a native of, and try to make change. So why don't I prevent those murders, or those murders alike, you know, from happening in my community as much as I can, as much as possible. So yeah, as far as emotions, I can't put it into words, honestly. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot.
Yeah, it is, man. And we all trying to keep our cool and approach things the right way. And that brother name was Rashad Brooks.
Rashad Brooks, yes.
Rest in peace to him, man. Boy, that really pissed me off. They sat there and talked to that man 40 minutes, man.
Yeah.
He could have been at the house.
Cool.
Yeah. Don't get me riled up. Yeah, Queen, I'm glad you stopped through today. Any other events that my audience needs to know about, be aware of? I want you to reiterate the rally again, dates and time.
Okay, so the rally is Sunday, June 28th at 3 p.m. It will be at the Jackson City Hall. It's gonna be behind the Jackson City Hall, on President Street. So whatever street that is behind it, we're gonna be back there, and we're gonna be in the backyard. We're gonna have a DJ out there. We're gonna have some people doing spoken word. I'm gonna have some representatives from the NAACP. We're gonna have Mississippi Votes. I'm gonna have Community Network Coalition. Strong Arms is gonna be there. So yeah, we're gonna be out there. We're gonna be really trying to get people involved in the community. We're gonna really register. We're registering people to vote on site. So if any of your kids turn 18 in 2020, bring them out.
Get them out there.
Make sure they wear a mask. Also, we're giving out free food, free drinks, free masks, free hand sanitizer. So if you don't bring a mask, I'm gonna give you a mask.
Right. No excuses.
No excuses. No excuses. And you don't have to stay all day. You know, come out there, register to vote, get you a free sandwich or something, get some hand sanitizer, and you can go on about your way. I'm not gonna keep you all day. I know it's gonna be hot, but we have to really get out and involve ourselves in our community. You cannot wait for someone else to involve you. You have to start on the work now. It's now or never. So and we starting right now. That's the only event I have lined up right now, but there are definitely going to be more to come. It's just my first one. So yeah. You can follow me for any updates. That's my Instagram name right there. You can find me on Facebook at Calyn Stringfellow. Yeah.
Man. This has been an informative episode, and I just want you to know I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Family here at Key to the City supports you and everything you do. Anything I can do on my end to help you, just reach out. I want you to keep doing what you're doing. Keep your head on straight.
Yeah.
Stay safe. Stay smart. And don't chase none of these little boys, man. Handle your business.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Handle your business. So, kinfolk, I appreciate y'all tuning in. This was episode 6 with the Queen Calyn Stringfellow. Y'all go support her, follow her, share her events, get your butt out there, get registered to vote if you're not, and just go out to support either way. I appreciate you joining us, Queen. We're going to holler at you.
Thank you.
My kinfolks, I'm going to holler at y'all. See y'all tomorrow. You dig? Peace.
All right.
Appreciate it, Queen.